Good morning, Joanne. You're on the air.
Good morning, Patty. How are you?
I'm okay this morning. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm not okay because of family-wise. That was my niece that got killed the weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm calling on behalf of, all you listeners. Hopefully that is going to change one person's driving habits, right? Because what's happening out on the outer ring road and on the highway and in town people are going too fast.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived out in St. John's for 7 months, babysit my granddaughter, and the last words I used to say to my daughter was, drive safe. What's happening out there, they're not putting seatbelts on, they're driving 130, 140 kilometers out there on the highway, in the city, everywhere.
Joanne, I don't know, and I'll ask you how this makes you feel. When we talk about the accident, and I am so sorry to hear this news, and my condolences from everyone here on the show to you and your family. When people talk about what happened, and they immediately point to someone going too fast, and comments about not wearing a seatbelt, you've obviously got a really strong conviction, and you are willing to come forward, and hopefully that this will slow people down so no one else gets hurt. But does it hurt you and the family when people are so quick to point to how she was driving and the speed and the seatbelt? Is that fair? Does it hurt?
Well, common sense is, and you got to use common sense, and maybe I'm speculating, but she could have had a chance if she could have had her seatbelt on, right? She could have had a chance if she was driving slower than that there, but it's hard to say, and the family are not upset with that there because that's the basic common line is, maybe it could have been avoided, maybe she could have got away with it if she safer if she would have had a seatbelt on, and driving within the speed limit. Like I've heard the last couple of days, I've heard a gentleman speak on yesterday morning speaking to you, blaming the highways and the design of the highway. I've driven that out there for 7 months, and I think is absolutely wonderful highway. The only time they slow down is when it's construction. Mm-hmm. And to say that it's anything else but that their common sense is and the question of the day is, things have got to change. People have got to change their driving habits. It's been ongoing for years, and it still is going to be ongoing. It's just, it takes a fatality, and you never think it's going to happen. You never think, you can lose the control of the car just like that with one little mistake, right?
It can happen so quickly, and we're hoping that people change their habits. And this could relate to almost any conversation. When we need people to behave differently, it's hard to do. Some people will do it, some will play along, some will remember what they heard for this sad news this past weekend. Do you think there are other things can happen, like more police presence or speed cameras or speed signs and traps? Do you have any ideas on that front, or are you just hoping that people will adjust their own behavior?
No, I think that police presence will be, people will be more accommodating to it, and being aware of what they're doing on the highway if there's more police presence and cameras and that there, right? Because obviously we know that the Outer Ring Road has got a reputation of tragedies out there, right? And it seems like, the cars are being flipped over and being accident. The good thing about it is nobody else got hurt in this accident. The sad thing about it is we lost a family member, and, we're all in shock in that there, but it's, things has got to change.
Yeah.
I know for myself now, like, we go 100, we go 110 kilometers and that there, but I can definitely tell you my change in habits is going to change, my driving habits is going to change after this incident, right?
The unfortunate reality is people hear these types of devastating stories all too often, and they just think it's just someone in a car, and you cannot, if you don't know the person, then it may not affect you as you're hoping, and that it will translate in their mind to having slowed down. Tell us a little bit about your niece.
Sorry, what was that again?
Just tell us a little bit about your niece. Put a human face to what is now just a headline in the newspaper.
Oh my God, it's devastating. It's we'll never get over it. We'll never get over it. You know what? What I need people to come away with this message on the radio is change your habits. Buckle up. Don't drink. Don't text. Don't be on the cell phone. Right? Because it's not just the person that's driving. It's everybody around them that's going to be affected by this, whether it's somebody driving, whether it's a family member, to pick up the pieces again, and people will never be the same again.
Well, it's a courageous message you're bringing forward in such, difficult circumstances for you and your family. I appreciate your time this morning, and we do indeed wish you all the best as you grieve and try to come to terms with losing someone who's so young. That, sometimes, although the age doesn't necessarily matter in one life no more important than another, but it's somehow much more troubling when it's a young person.
It is, and she was so brilliant. And, she wasn't from Newfoundland. She was from Nova Scotia, so it makes it even harder, right?
What was she doing here?
She's going to university. She's in her third year of university.
What was she taking in school?
I'm not even sure.
Okay. Well, it's a bright future potentially that'll be lost. It's just a horrible story. And Joanne, thank you. And maybe someone listening today who has had these, the willingness to drive down the Outer Ring Road at 140, sort of oblivious to the risk to themselves and others. So let's hope that they maybe slow down. And I'm going to hope that it translates in my mind, because I know sometimes I go too fast. And I think a lot of people behave the same way. Joanne, thank you very much. And we wish you and your family nothing but the best.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You can only hope if, something like that happens to your family. Oh, gosh, I better take a break. Don't go away.